Hey everyone, this is Kate Weatherwise, your favorite weather girl, coming to you on Sunday, March 29th, 2026. It is 5 o'clock in the Pacific time zone, and we're going to be focusing on the western states tonight for tonight's weather video because we have a pretty active weather week coming up. And I wanted to focus on that because it is going to be a little bit of a cooler week, but towards the end of the week, especially into the weekend, into Easter weekend, it is going to warm back up and the skies and the weather is going to calm back down. So let's get started. But first, if you're not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when my next video is coming out. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We are going to take a look at the current temperatures around the area. Now, this is in the Pacific Northwest. We have chilly. It's been a chilly and a little bit of a breezy day here into Washington State. It's been like a kind of a raw day outside, especially when the wind gets going. But temperatures right now are in the mid and upper 40s, maybe 50 degrees in some areas, and then a little bit warmer as you head south into Oregon. And then as you head south even further into California, in the Central Valley of California, you are in the 80s, upper 80s in some areas, and then down south here into the desert of Southern California, you are near 100 degrees here on the border, and then you pass into the desert of Arizona, and you are also in the mid and upper 90s. So it's pretty warm down there. But focusing back up here again into Oregon, your temperatures are cooler when you head north, warmer as you head south. Montana, you're hitting 70 degrees here in the Billings area. This tends to be because you get sort of that warmer continental breeze coming in from the southwest, and it's been warm in the middle of the country, and that warm air has streamed far enough north to where you're 70 degrees here in Billings. And then, of course, in western Montana, you are sitting in the chilly air, especially into the mountains of Glacier National Park and the North Rockies. So it is not looking too bad. We are going to take a look at the satellite imagery now. It is coming up on, you can see this line right here. This is where the sun is moving west, and it has set over here in the center and eastern part of the country, and it's heading towards, our sun doesn't set right now until about 7:15ish here in the Pacific Northwest. And of course, as you head south, it starts to set a little bit sooner. But this is the only area currently. There's some precipitation here falling in and around. This is Utah down into Nevada, but really there's some snow in the higher elevations in northeast Washington and north Idaho, but it's mainly some rain showers that are falling. There's been some, let me zoom in a little bit. There's been some snow that has been falling here into the Cascades. In western Washington, you're sitting in the rain with some clouds, and you see these southwesterly winds streaming in. There's been a few rain showers that have come into the Spokane area today. Not a whole lot. It's been sort of sprinkling. I like to call it spitting rain, sprinkling rain, maybe a little bit of light rain. And I put that out in my forecast this morning for my area, where some light rain showers off and on were going to be today, but it wasn't going to be too much rain, maybe 5/100ths of an inch or less. Now, there is some more rain coverage as you go south and east of Spokane. Of course, as you get into Idaho, you've got some rain here as well, with some snow that's falling in the higher elevations, and into western Montana, you as well. Rain in the valleys, snow in the mountains. And then Billings, you have some clouds around, but you are sitting in the sun as well. And again, it's 70 degrees there right now. So that is to take a look at what's going on around the region. And then again, like I said, a little bit of snow down here into the Utah mountains and into the mountains of Arizona, or some rain. It could be rain in the lower elevations and snow in the higher elevations. Again, up here too, rain in the lower and snow in the higher elevations. So let's just take a look at, actually, I'm going to back up a little bit. There is a little bit of a atmospheric river that is pointed at us. It's It's a weak one, and it seems like it's pointed right at Portland and heading right into Western Washington. So that's going to relax. Again, it's going to be an active weather week, but it's not going to be so much of an atmospheric river all week long. But it is going to be a wet week in the lowlands. Now in Eastern Washington for our Monday, you are going to be dry and sunny, but then the rest of the week is just going to be a little bit iffy until we get to the weekend where we will warm up and we will get some sun back. So let's go ahead and go to, this is the map of what we're looking at weather-wise this week. Currently, you see this rain that's falling, snow in the higher elevations, snow out or rain out here in Western Washington, unless you go into the higher elevations of the Cascades or out here on the Olympic Mountains, some rain down here in Oregon. The rest of the region is pretty dry right now. But as we go to through the day, this is 5 o'clock tonight. And then by tomorrow morning, there could be some snow. This is later tonight, some snow in the Cascades and possibly some snow in the higher elevations of northeast Washington and also into North Idaho and western Montana. Some snow for those higher mountains, which is good. We still need to pack on that snowpack before it really starts to melt and then stays melting throughout the rest of the spring and summer. So as we go through the day, this is overnight tonight. Our skies should clear for Eastern Washington and Western Washington. Your rain is going to come to an end. Eastern Washington, by overnight tonight, the clouds should start to clear out. So it's going to be a chilly evening tonight in the low 30s, maybe even upper 20s for some areas. And then as we get through the day tomorrow, this is going to drape to the south and have a little bit of, depending on elevation, some snow and some rain in through central Idaho and western Montana and down into central Oregon as well. But then during the day tomorrow, it's going to be a nice, dry, and sunny day for us. And temperatures are going to be in the 50s again, a little bit warmer than today because we'll be without clouds and we'll have more sun. So that will be nice. And then it's going to be in the 50s this week. But at nighttime, it's going to be chilly. So when we do come into the day, Tuesday is going to be sort of a transition day. You see Tuesday morning, there's some rain that's going to pop into the picture here into Oregon, Idaho, Central California, into Nevada, and then also into the Tetons of National Glacier or Yellowstone National Park here into Wyoming. And then as we go through the day, it stays pretty active here through the day on Tuesday. Eastern Washington, the precipitation for you, Spokane, will stay to your south. And then as we go through the day, or the night on Tuesday night, this next system here off the coast that you can see with these pretty tightly wound isobars, rain coming in to Western Washington Wednesday morning. This is 5 o'clock in the morning. Because the temperatures may be low enough, you could see some snow here south of I-90 and some mixed precipitation. There definitely will be some snow on Mount Rainier. And then as we go throughout the morning, that rain will be moving over into eastern Washington with snow in the North Cascades and into north central Washington with rain around the Spokane area. Now, you start to head further north and you see that rain transition to mixed precipitation and or snow. This is Wednesday afternoon. So the rain's going to stick around. We're going to see anywhere from a quarter to a half an inch of rainfall around the Spokane area during the day on Wednesday. And then of course you see it's really wet here in Western Washington with some snow and or mixed precipitation in the Cascades of Washington and Oregon during the day on Wednesday. And then this whole area is going to be pretty active with snow in the mountains all around the region and rain in the valleys all around the region. So that is a good thing because you all have had in Colorado, Wyoming, in this part of the country, you've had those red flag warnings. Wyoming is experiencing red flag warnings right now. So it's going to be a good thing that some precipitation is going to be coming back into your forecast because if any fires do get started or had gotten started, that raise in humidity and rainfall and or snowfall will be super beneficial for tamping down if any fires got started or if there was any potential for that's going to be squashed. So that's a very good thing. So you can see it's going to be really active here on Wednesday. And this is Wednesday evening. Again, the temperatures are going to start to lower because it'll be closer to sunset and a little bit more of a push of colder air. So snow for you in the Cascades all the way down into Oregon, Northern California, higher elevations of Northern California into the Sierras of California. Some snow is there as well, and still very active on Wednesday night. And then we have another push of rain that's going to come into the Spokane area. This is Wednesday night, late after 10, 11 o'clock at night, and then snow into central Idaho, and then snow into western Montana with rain in the valleys. And this is going to push through with some snow into, say, 4th of July Pass. Of course, Lookout Pass, you're going to see snow, and into the north central mountains of Washington State, some snow up there towards the Canadian border, and then mixed precipitation in northeast Washington as well, with some mixed precipitation reaching all the way down to maybe Colville, in the higher elevations around Colville on Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Early Thursday morning, we could see, and I mentioned this morning in my weather group for the Spokane area, you could see some snowflakes in higher elevations above about 2,500 feet Wednesday night into Thursday morning, most likely Thursday morning. So after midnight, Wednesday night, that could happen. And then you see there's lots of snow here in central Idaho and western Montana. This is Thursday morning. So then by Thursday evening, things start to clear out here for the Washington State and Oregon. A high pressure, 1,028 millibar high pressure is going to start to build back in, which is a good thing, pushing in some warmer air from the southwest. That's going to be with us for the weekend, like I mentioned. And then this system is going to push east and create some severe weather here in the central part of the country. Now, if you're interested in seeing my weather forecast this week for the central and eastern part of the U.S., I published that video already, so I will link it here in this video, or you can just go to my channel and look for that video, because that details if you're doing any traveling or if you have family or friends or anyone who lives in the central to the eastern part of the country from about March 31st through Easter Sunday, which is April 5th. That part of the country will be experiencing several rounds of severe weather starting on the 31st. So just to be on the lookout, like I said, there's people who are traveling for Easter. It's not the most heavily traveled day of the year, but some people do. Some people stay local. Some people travel via plane. So just so you know, that's there. And then by the weekend, this is Friday morning, that high pressure moves inland. Then we have another one that pops up here by Friday afternoon. And that's when that warm air starts to wash back over the Pacific Northwest, pushing with it those southwesterly winds and those warmer temperatures and that sunshine back into the picture for us, especially Friday into Saturday and Sunday, Easter Sunday. Easter Sunday looks to be in the low to mid 60s for eastern Washington into North Idaho. Now, of course, some of you in North Idaho who live at higher elevations, you will most likely not reach the 60s, but it'll still be nice for you all. So this is Saturday. By Saturday evening, these temperatures the warmer temperatures are going to be with us, with a ridge out here in the west, and then there's going to be a trough back east. But this ridge is just going to be with us through the weekend. So it's going to be it looks like it's going to be a nice Easter weekend. So then this is Sunday night, Easter Sunday night. We'll see a little bit of a change into Monday morning, where you see these purplish blue bars coming back in, and maybe some precipitation reaching the very northern part of Washington State. But it's not going to grace much of this state. So it's most likely going to stay into Canada. And this is through Tuesday. So this is a good thing. We have active weather through about Thursday, maybe into Friday for some parts of the West. But then by the weekend, Easter weekend looks to be very nice. That is very exciting. And then really quickly, I wanted to share this with you because this is a good depiction of, you can see this little low here, and this is this depicts, see how it's just flat across the country? This is a flat jet stream. So that's why there hasn't been much going on and why I haven't been super active in making videos, because it's been kind of quiet, especially out here in the West. But that, except for today, we've had that goofy, kind of cool and breezy. It feels like fall outside, chilly. I was outside earlier and it was cold, even though it was like 45 degrees, but the wind was just enough and it was just, oh, I was cold. So then as we go through the day, you see this sort of low pressure come in off the coast, and you see this coming in here. This green here signifies a low pressure, and it makes its way in, creating that all that weather that's going to be with us out here in the West for most of the week. And then this brown is another high pressure ridge that builds back in for the weekend. And so that's going to be with us for the weekend. Now this is through Sunday, and then it starts to flatten out again by the middle of next week, but it's a good picture of what the atmosphere is going to be doing. Flat, and then a dip, creating the active weather here for the first part of the week into towards the end of the week. And then that ridge with the brown that I just showed you building back in, creating nice, calm, sunnier weather for us for Easter weekend. So that is going to cover it for this video. I hope you are having a great Sunday afternoon, and I will of course be updating daily in my weather group. That is my local weather group, but I will be back periodically through this week to fine tune anything. If anything needs to be fine tuned, I will be back and do another video for the Western US. But I hope you're having a good evening. This is bye for now, and I will talk to you later.